Located in Bologna, Italy, Ducati was born as a groundbreaking radio manufacturer in the 1920s. But this kind of production ended when their factory was bombed in World War II. Following the war, the company created the Cucciolo and found success making and racing motorcycles. And to this day, their focus on innovation and chasing excellence have been key ingredients in their success as one of the top motorcycle manufacturers in the world.
The story of Ducati has been a kind of a roller coaster. The company in 1996 ran through deep financial troubles. The previous owners sold the company. When I first came to Ducati in December 96, I didn't get a very good impression, to be totally honest. So the first proposal I got, I said no.
A successful car importer at the time, Paolo Ciabate received a second offer from the new leadership at Ducati in early 1997. For Paolo, a move to Ducati at the time seemed to have little benefits. It would require him to move away from his hometown, have less time with his wife and kids, as well as walk away from a substantial raise that his current employer was offering. And he would be doing all of this to go to Ducati at a time when the company was needing a complete overhaul.
To be totally honest, at that point, took my car to come here to tell Ducati I was refusing their offer. But the more I was approaching Bologna, the more I thought, this is not right for me. So then I came to the gate of Ducati, I called my wife, I said, sorry, I'm gonna stay. And it was the beginning of this story.
Everyone knows Ducati. It's the pinnacle of motorsports. That name is the coolest name in the sport.
Ducati is a Rolex in the motorcycle world, or it's a Ferrari in the motorcycle world. The most amazing street bikes out there.
Some people like to be in their comfort zone. Maybe it's a 9-to-5 job, and then you can forget about your job on a Saturday and Sundays, weekends by the sea during summer. For some reason, this has never been my way of considering how I would spend my life. I always need some new challenges.
After winning multiple world championships in World Superbike and MotoGP, Paolo and Ducati have set their sights on conquering the world of off-road motorcycle racing. In partnership with Red Bull and Troy Lee Designs, Ducati Corsa will debut their 450 Desmo at Anaheim 1 on January 10th, 2026. May the era of Ducati in America begin.
Ducati to make a dirt bike, and for me to race that dirt bike in Supercross is like a bit unbelievable. Like, it just doesn't sound real. You know, you have the main brands, like, and then you just, like, that's insane.
While Paolo Ciabate and Ducati represent the pinnacle of Italian motorcycle design and performance, Troy Lee is a key member of Southern California motorsports royalty in his own right. Known primarily for designing and producing protective racing gear, Troy has also been involved in racing cars and motorcycles since he was a young boy.
My grandfather built Bonneville cars, and he used to pinstripe because he owned a used car lot, so that was his thing. I used to just, as a little kid, watching him pinstripe the cars. And then my dad followed in his footsteps and started pinstriping. So I've been about pinstriping. That's why we keep doing pinstripe helmets here, and it's our roots. And he raced cars too, and then motocross and speedway. So I started racing motorcycles, going to Saddleback and painting my own helmets, and my dad would letter them. And then I started working for Jim Busby in Laguna Beach. He was racing Le Mans in 24 hours, and so I started painting his helmets. And then I was racing, I was like, man, I don't want to paint helmets anymore. I just want to be a professional racer. So I was racing against, Ricky Johnson and Jeff Ward. All those guys ended up flying by me. And every time I got hurt, I'd go back to painting helmets, and it was a good thing. And I'm still painting helmets today, and it's what I love. I'm drawing a helmet right now for Dylan Ferrandis.
You really don't work. It's not work, is it?
I haven't worked yet. I don't really want to. just gotta think. Stay creative. The big blessing was that the rates that you sent over definitely are very good.
That is really great. By the way, hi, Jenna.
Hi, Ray. I sent you just another phased approach. So phase 1, phase 2, and I hope that makes sense. If you need me to change anything, I can do that. He's just talking about the first few months to get the partnership going. If we can set up the vendor account with DHL and start using your services, we'll basically run the branding for a little while for free, just to give us time to get the rest of the relationship up and going, in hopes that we can turn this into a full multi-year partnership.
Ducati is such a refined brand. Troy Lee is a very artistic, creative, punk rock individual. Why would Ducati want Troy Lee to be in charge?
With Troy, the more we keep talking to each other, the more we understood that maybe there was a possibility to do something successful together. And I think it's a perfect match, because I think now Ducati moving to the off-road, it's a younger world, it's a more creative. You see the way that the motocross riders wear their racing gear. It's colorful, it's different.
If you guys do have a flight to California, I think you'll be impressed with the race shop that we're building, and basically a design center here where we're painting helmets and designing clothes and racing apparel and everything else. It's a pretty cool little facility we have here. I think you guys would get behind it and see it and go, wow, I want to support this. These guys are working hard.
I would like to say Troy is like one of the best people at manifesting things. Like, he sets his mind to something and it happens. Ducati, I mean, he probably did manifest that when he heard they were going to make a dirt bike, and then, you know, there was talk about other teams having the Ducati and things like that, and then Troy's got it.
I mean, I did a lot of asking, flying to Italy and banging on their door. Just told them I would really like this opportunity if it's available. You know, I don't think I would be here without Ziggy from Factory Connection. Me and Ziggy used to be arch rivals. He ran the Factory Connection team, and I ran the Honda team. We used to look at each other and kind of, I'd want to flip him off, and I know he wanted to flip me off, and now I realized, I went, you know what, I need to hire this guy. This guy was the best guy out there, man.
An old friend of mine that I had done some work with was doing some consulting for Ducati, brought some Ducati staff, engineers to me, had a meeting, told me about a project they were working on, wondering if I'd have some interest in some work with them. I was actually quite coy at first because I had become pretty accustomed to having a home life again, which I hadn't had for about 30 years. But over the course of about a year and a half, I really got to know Paulo, got to like Paulo, and finally caved because I said I'd help him with this project.
So one more change geared towards the pockets before we chase that part, okay?
Why? Why we do the corner first? Pockets not a problem.
In my mind, it may become more of one. If I give you this, I think your need's gonna change here.
What's special about Ziggy? Ziggy's very special. For instance, I've been on a lot of teams and things, and like I explain what I feel on the motorcycle, and then the people behind the scene try to make something better with what I said, and it's usually hard to do. And then you have a guy like Ziggy where you tell him what you're feeling, he understands the rider and the bike, and then he tells his guys what to do, and then it's like boom, he did it.
You seem to be a little froggy with this.
Well, Saragi, I said we woke the beast up.
Especially out of that ride into that rhythm over there. You're like,
I'm telling you, you could go out into that first section. I don't want to, but you could.
all right, well, next test I'm going to ask you to.
Like, I've never had that with someone, so his knowledge for and his understanding of a motorcycle and the rider is extremely special.
I was asked to put a group of people together that could get them up, testing and starting to develop a motorcycle for racing Supercross in the US. I met with Claudio, the CEO at Ducati, this spring, and I promised him if the bike wasn't ready, I was gonna say, don't go racing. I looked at my job like I needed to try and break this thing. Haven't had any of those situations that have caused me concern. This thing's been good. That company's done a really good job.
I heard a lot, like the engine. When I got on it, I was like, okay, yeah, the engine's awesome. You know, I like that high RPM, and this thing revs to the moon and it doesn't fall off, which is awesome. And even for Supercross, like loops and stuff, for the bike to keep pulling through the power, I was like, it's sick.
Version 1's been very good to us. These were slight refinements.
You're 31 years old, and that's the twilight of any racer's career, if you look at it. But is there something that people are missing about you?
Age can make a difference on the fitness, for sure, but I for sure never felt too good on a motorcycle in the past in Supercross. I think this makes a difference because mentally when you show up to a Supercross race and you don't feel the greatest on the bike, it's hard to perform at the best. So I feel like with this Ducati bike, I feel the way I want to feel in Supercross. So now my goal is to win races at the end.
Just the last session, like I don't want anything else. Like I don't even want to try. Like it's too good.
Dylan, all of us are very, very happy with where this thing's come. I feel really good about what you accomplished on the power side, the clutch side.
I agree.
I'm very happy with the work you did this week.
It's very great. Yeah.
Okay.
Does any of this scare you?
I like to be scared, I think. To be honest with you, I hired the two riders before I had my contract from Ducati. And even my nephew's like, you're doing it backwards, man. You get the manufacturer and then you hire. I'm like, I can't wait. I got to hire these guys and they got to believe that I'm going to get this to the finish line. So this is a big challenge, but I'm more excited about it than ever. I feel like you're only on this planet for a short amount of time and I want to make a difference. Red Bull's been an amazing partner. I learned so much the way they do their marketing, and I feel the same way with Ducati. They want to do it right or not do it. Follows like if the bike's not ready, it's not worth going racing.
Is this the last project for you?
I'm older now. There's parts of me that have changed. I'm still competitive as all get out. I may not show it to many people, but in the background, like I want to win more than anybody.
You're at Anaheim. You're at the stadium. Opening ceremonies are going off. Your riders are coming through on these brand new, never seen before Ducatis. They line up at the gate. What's going on through your mind?
You know, at that point, I am scared. At that point, I am. I'm like, I've done everything I can, and that's when it really counts. I mean, that's when we're basically going to war. I mean, my goal is winning motocross and supercross championship, and I haven't done that. We've won a lot of races, but those are things before I leave this planet I need to do.
Do you truly believe that Ducati can win an off-road championship, a motocross, supercross championship?
We know as newcomers we need to learn a lot, but Ducati has a winning history in whatever we did in racing. Off-road is not an exception. I think we must be reasonable. It will take some time, but we believe it's possible. Otherwise, we won't be doing it.